Imagine, if you will, waking up each morning and instead of rushing into your day, you pause. In those quiet moments, you breathe in deeply, not just air, but a sense of divine presence. It is in those still, early hours that you have the opportunity to invite the Holy Spirit into your life for the day ahead. We are often tempted to fill our mornings with noise and tasks, with the urgent and the necessary, but we forget that the true strength of the day lies not in what we can accomplish, but in who we walk with. The journey of life often begins with the question, what is the purpose of our existence? Why do we wake up each morning? And what motivates us to push through challenges, uncertainties, and hardships? The answer, I believe, lies in our ability to unlock the extraordinary power that resides within us. Life is a gift, but it's not always easy. We encounter obstacles, setbacks, and moments when we feel like giving up. Yet, it is precisely in those moments that we discover who we truly are. As Winston Churchill famously said, success is not final, failure is not fatal, it is the courage to continue that counts. There is an incredible power in perseverance. When faced with difficulties, we are often tempted to look for shortcuts or simple solutions. But true greatness doesn't come from avoiding struggle. It comes from embracing it. The poet Robert Frost wisely said, "The best way out is always through struggle, is not something to be feared or avoided, it is something to be faced head-on, knowing that it is through overcoming adversity that we develop strength, resilience, character." It is easy to become discouraged when things aren't going our way. The world, with its constant noise, offers us endless distractions, pulling us away from our true purpose. But we must remember that success is not measured by how many obstacles we avoid, but by how we rise each time we fall. It's the ability to keep moving forward, even when the odds seem impossible. It does not matter how slowly you go, as long as you do not stop, said Confucius. This is the essence of perseverance, the ability to persist, no matter how difficult the path may seem. The greatest achievements in life are often the result of people who refused to give up when they faced failure. The road to success is paved with challenges, but these challenges are not barriers, they are opportunities for growth. Every difficulty we face offers a chance to learn something new about ourselves, to develop skills, and to gain wisdom that we would not have acquired otherwise. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall, said Confucius again, reminding us that failure is not a permanent state. It is simply a stepping stone on the path to success. Many of the most successful individuals in history have faced immense obstacles. Thomas Edison, for example, is one of the most famous inventors in history. Yet, his path to success was anything but easy. He failed thousands of times before finally inventing the light bulb. When asked about his many failures, Edison said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." This perspective is essential for anyone chasing their dreams. Failure is not a sign that we are on the wrong path. It's a sign that we are learning, growing, and getting closer to success. Success is not always about talent, luck, or intelligence. It is about persistence, determination, and the willingness to keep going even when things get tough. As Calvin Coolidge once said, "Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. The slogan 'Press on' is solved, and always will solve the problems of the human race." It's important to understand that perseverance doesn't mean simply pushing through without regard for the challenges we face. It means continuing to move forward despite them, adjusting our approach, and remaining focused on our goals. Life is not always about going in a straight line. Sometimes the road to success is full of detours, dead ends, and unexpected turns. Yet, it's through these challenges that we discover our true strength. We learn how to adapt, how to innovate, and how to keep moving forward. There is another powerful aspect of perseverance, and that is the role of patience. It's easy to become frustrated when we don't see immediate results, but patience is a virtue that is crucial for long-term success. As the famous quote goes, "Rome wasn't built in a day, the same can be said for any worthwhile endeavor." Whether we are building a career, pursuing a passion, or striving to improve ourselves, success takes time. Patience teaches us to trust the process, to have faith that every effort we make will eventually pay off. It reminds us that true success is built not on quick fixes, but on consistent effort and dedication over time. Patience is not passive, it is an active form of perseverance. It requires discipline and a strong sense of belief in the bigger picture. When we trust in the process and remain patient, we allow ourselves to grow in ways that would be impossible if we were constantly rushing for results. There is wisdom in taking the time to do things right, even when it feels like we are moving slowly. Patience is not simply the ability to wait, it's how we behave while we're waiting, said Joyce Meyer. Patience allows us to develop the qualities necessary for long-term success: resilience, focus, and a deep sense of purpose. As we walk the path of perseverance, it is important to remember that success is not just about achieving our goals, it's about who we become along the way. The challenges, the failures, and the struggles all serve to shape us into better versions of ourselves. Success is not the key to happiness. Happiness is the key to success, said Albert Schweitzer. When we are happy, content, and at peace with our journey, success will follow naturally. It's not just about the end goal, it's about the growth and transformation we experience as we pursue it. In closing, the power of perseverance is immense. It is the force that drives us to keep going when things get tough, the strength that carries us through hardship, and the determination that leads to success. The road may not always be easy, and there will be times when we feel like giving up. But it is in those moments that our true character is tested. Remember, success is not a destination, it is a journey. The difference between a successful person and others is not a lack of strength, not a lack of knowledge, but rather a lack in will, said Vince Lombardi. It's the will to keep going, the ability to persevere, that separates those who achieve greatness from those who give up. So whatever challenge you face today, take heart, keep moving forward, and remember that with perseverance you can achieve anything. The essence of purpose is not something we simply discover, it is something we cultivate. It's easy to feel lost at times, to wonder whether our lives truly matter or whether work we're doing will ever have a lasting impact. But purpose is not always about grand gestures or monumental achievements. It is found in the quiet moments of dedication, the small steps taken with intention, and the willingness to live a life of meaning, regardless of how the world may perceive it. As Viktor Frankl, a survivor of the Holocaust and a great philosopher, said, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how it is in understanding why we are here, in recognizing the value we bring to the world, that we unlock our true potential." Purpose gives us the courage to face adversity, the strength to endure hardships, and the clarity to remain focused even in the midst of confusion. Without purpose, we are like a ship adrift on an endless sea, constantly tossed around by the winds of circumstance. With purpose, we find our direction and anchor ourselves to something greater than ourselves. No matter what your journey looks like, whether you're just beginning or already well along the path, purpose has the power to transform everything. The poet Langston Hughes once said, "Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field, frozen with snow." In the same way, when our sense of purpose fades, life can seem barren and unfulfilling. But when we hold on to that inner calling, when we recognize that our existence has meaning, every challenge becomes an opportunity for growth, every moment becomes valuable, and every setback is simply a stepping stone to something greater. It's important to remember that purpose doesn't always unfold in grand or obvious ways. Often it's the accumulation of small actions, made day in and day out, that shapes our lives and gives them significance. As the author and motivational speaker Tony Robbins famously said, "The secret to living is giving our purpose is often tied to how we serve others, how we contribute to the world around us." When we live with this mindset, we find that our actions, no matter how small, ripple out and impact lives in ways we may never fully understand. This is why purpose cannot be reduced to a simple career choice or personal ambition. It's much deeper than that. It's about the legacy we leave through our relationships, our actions, and the values we stand for. As Steve Jobs once said, "Your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do." Purpose is the fuel behind that passion. It's what drives us to make a difference in the world, no matter how big or small that difference might seem. In the end, purpose is not something we chase, it is something that finds us when we are open to it, when we are willing to seek meaning in everything we do. The key is to never lose sight of what matters most, to keep our hearts aligned with the values and goals that give us meaning, and to live in a way that serves not just our own desires, but the needs of others as well. As John C. Maxwell said, The secret of your success is determined by your daily agenda. If we live each day with purpose, then every action becomes a reflection of the deeper meaning we carry within. Life is full of moments that challenge our sense of strength and resilience. There are days when we feel weak, tired, or overwhelmed, and it's easy to wonder how we can possibly keep going. In these times, it's essential to remember that strength is not something we are born with, it is something we cultivate. Strength is the ability to face life's challenges with courage and determination, and it's something that can be developed over time, often through adversity. As Helen Keller once said, although the world is full of suffering, it is also full of the overcoming of it. When we think about strength, we often think of physical power or the ability to lift great weights. But true strength is much deeper than that. It's the strength of character, the strength to keep going when you're exhausted, to make the right decision when it's hard, and to remain grounded in your values no matter how much the world tries to pull you in different directions. Strength is what allows us to rise after we fall, to keep going when we are knocked down, and to hold our heads high even when the world tells us to give up. It's the quiet courage that comes from knowing that no matter what happens, we are capable of handling it. Sometimes we don't recognize our own strength because it doesn't always look like we expect it to. Strength doesn't always come in the form of bold actions or large accomplishments. Sometimes strength is simply the decision to get out of bed in the morning when you feel like staying in bed. It's the resilience to take the next step even when the path is unclear. It's the courage to try again, even after failing. As Rocky Balboa, the fictional boxer, famously said, "It's not about how hard you hit, it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward." True strength is not about avoiding the hits, it's about enduring them and continuing on your path despite them. The key to building strength lies in our mindset. The way we approach challenges and adversity shapes our ability to overcome them. If we see every difficulty as an obstacle that will stop us, then we will be paralyzed by fear and doubt. But if we can reframe our perspective and see challenges as opportunities for growth, we become unstoppable. As the great motivational speaker, Tony Robbins, put it, the only limit to your impact is your imagination and commitment. When we approach life with the mindset that we are capable of handling whatever comes our way, we unlock a new level of strength within ourselves. It is often in our most difficult moments that we discover our greatest strength. Life has a way of testing us, pushing us to our limits, and forcing us to face our fears and weaknesses. Yet it is through these very trials that we grow stronger. The great poet Maya Angelou said, "We may encounter many defeats, but we must not be defeated in every defeat. There is a lesson. In every challenge, there is a chance to become stronger." Strength is built through experience, through the willingness to face difficulty head-on, and through the refusal to be defined by failure. Moreover, strength is not something we can create in isolation. We are not meant to journey through life alone, and often our strength is nurtured by those around us. When we face challenges, the support and encouragement of others can give us the strength we need to continue. The great civil rights leader, Martin Luther King Jr., said, "Strength does not come from physical capacity. It comes from an indomitable will. While willpower is a personal force, it can be strengthened by the people who stand by us. When we have a community of supportive friends and family, we are more equipped to handle life's difficulties. Even when life feels overwhelmingly difficult, strength is found in the simple act of moving forward. The smallest step forward is still progress, and it is often in the slow and steady journey that we find our strength. Strength is not about instant success or perfection, it's about consistency and perseverance. It is the discipline to keep showing up day after day, even when you don't feel like it, even when the results are not immediate. The famous philosopher Aristotle once said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. When we make strength a habit, when we make perseverance a habit, our resilience becomes second nature. There is another aspect of strength that we must consider: the strength to be vulnerable. Vulnerability does not mean weakness, it is the courage to show up as your true self, to ask for help when needed, and to be honest about your struggles. Too often, we think that being strong means being invulnerable, but the opposite is true. True strength lies in the ability to be open about our challenges, to face our emotions with honesty, and to ask for support when we need it. The strongest people are those who win battles we know nothing about, said author Kristen Neff. Being strong doesn't mean that we don't have our struggles, it means that we are brave enough to face them, share them, and grow through them. Strength also involves having a clear sense of purpose. When we know what we are working toward, when we understand why we are doing something, it becomes much easier to find the strength to keep going. Purpose gives us direction, and it fuels our ability to keep pushing forward, even when obstacles appear. Viktor Frankl, a Holocaust survivor and psychiatrist, wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost anyhow. When we live with purpose, we are not easily swayed by the difficulties that come our way. Our inner strength comes from knowing that what we are doing is meaningful, and it's this understanding that keeps us grounded in moments of hardship." It is also important to remember that strength does not look the same for everyone. Each person's journey is unique, and we each have our own way of finding and expressing strength. Some of us find strength in solitude, while others find it in community. Some find it in faith, while others find it in action. The key is to understand that your strength is your own, and it will manifest in ways that are authentic to who you are. As Ralph Waldo Emerson wisely said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters. Compared to what lies within us, the strength we seek is already within us. It is simply a matter of unlocking it and allowing it to flow freely." As we navigate through life, let us remember that strength is not something we are born with, but something we develop through our experiences. It is cultivated through perseverance, resilience, vulnerability, and purpose. It is built in the moments when we feel like giving up but choose to keep going anyway. And most importantly, true strength comes from the knowledge that no matter what challenges we face, we have the capacity to overcome them. Strength is not the absence of weakness, it is the courage to rise above it, to continue forward, and to remain steadfast in the face of adversity. In every moment of life, there is an underlying truth that we often forget: we are the creators of our own future. The path we walk today is shaped by the choices we make, the decisions we commit to, and the belief we hold in our ability to transform. The power of self-belief is something we often underestimate, yet it is one of the most powerful forces we can harness. As the great philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson once said, "What lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters, compared to what lies within us." When we believe in ourselves, we unlock the potential to achieve what once seemed impossible. Self-belief is not just about thinking positively, it's about cultivating the deep-rooted conviction that we are capable of more than we can see at the moment. It is the courage to step forward even when the road ahead seems uncertain. "Believe you can, and you're halfway there," said Theodore Roosevelt. The key to this belief is not just to hope for success, but to trust in our ability to handle the challenges that come our way. When we believe in our strength, in our skills, and in our capacity to adapt and grow, we open the doors to incredible opportunities. One of the greatest barriers to success is the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, and the fear of the unknown. But self-belief is what helps us push past these fears. It allows us to see failure not as an end, but as a lesson, a stepping stone to greater understanding. As Michael Jordan, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, famously said, "I've failed over and over and over again in my life. And that is why I succeed." Failure is not the enemy of success. It is the teacher that shows us how to rise, how to learn, and how to grow. With self-belief, we see each failure as part of the process, a necessary experience that moves us closer to our goals. The journey toward success is never linear. There will always be setbacks, challenges, and moments when we doubt ourselves. But in those moments, it is the belief in our own potential that keeps us moving forward. Self-belief is like a muscle. It grows stronger the more we use it. The more we confront our fears, face our failures, and continue to strive toward our dreams, the more confident we become in our abilities. As Henry Ford wisely put it, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right, our beliefs shape our reality. If we see ourselves as capable of overcoming obstacles, then we will act with the confidence that leads us to success. It's important to remember that self-belief does not mean arrogance or overconfidence. It is not about thinking that we are perfect or without flaws. Instead, it is about trusting in our ability to learn, grow, and adapt. It is understanding that we are not defined by our mistakes, but by how we respond to them. Success is not final, failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts, said Winston Churchill. The true measure of success lies not in the absence of failure, but in the resilience to keep moving forward despite it. In the end, self-belief is the foundation of all accomplishment. It is the fuel that drives us to push through difficulty, to embrace challenges, and to achieve greatness. When we believe in ourselves, we tap into an infinite source of potential, and the impossible becomes possible. The only limits we face are the ones we impose on ourselves. So trust in your power, have faith in your journey, and remember your belief in yourself is the key that will unlock the future you desire.